everybody, my name's Conan and welcome to Conan Exiles. Today we're going to be doing a recap on the stream with all the juicy bits in a very short amount of time. So stick around and I hope you enjoyed today's video. So they first introduced the stream looking at the brand new event, which I've already covered in detail on the channel if you want to have a look at my previous Conan Exiles video. They were pretty much going over the brand new event, the trader, where you find it, the Jhebbal Sag things, and the champions. For those not familiar, Jhebbal Sag is making his presence feel known in the exiled lands, and he has presented a new challenge for you exiles to complete. There are 4 champions you can go ahead and defeat, and getting all of the items will allow you to go and do the final champion in the Grove, where you can go and defeat that and get a possible bear pet if you would like. Or you can just keep earning more teeth and unlock all the new cosmetical items in the new trade shop, including the brand new cape and much more. But that is pretty much your main meat and vegetables on what the main kind of content will be for chapter 4 is definitely this event. But they went over some really interesting things in stream as well on other aspects that they had changed for this update as well. So let's go over those. So Fatalities, this is a brand new thing coming to Conan Exiles in chapter 4, which they were hinting about for the Age of War for a few seasons, but now they are finally introducing it and now we can play around with it. Each weapon has a different fatality animation, and basically what happens here is they will go into a stunned state by chance on only NPCs. You can't be fatality'd only NPCs at the moment. You can do this too, which are human ones, not animals or anything like that. So just humans. And there is a chance that you will be able to do a fatality to them when you're fighting them, which will give you a really cool animation on what happens with that. So definitely worth a try out, and it's very gruesome but also very cool and very Conan. There's also a brand new update to NPC settings with behaviours. So now when you go in their inventory, they have changed the UI up, and you'll notice this season they changed the UI up a lot in different inventories and places. So this is something to bear in mind. You'll notice a new behaviour tab where you can choose between a few options and the meters you want them to follow or attack or chase things. So you can easily customize this a lot better instead of just going through the wheel and it resetting all the time. So you'll be able to set each of your NPC's behaviors with this new tab, and I believe this behavior tab is in pretty much everything. So that makes it a little easier to kind of determine what they do. And they have made the commands which you press the wheel down to make them follow, attack and stuff like that a lot snappier and quicker to do. So overall it should be easier to control your followers and make them do what you need them to do. One of the more exciting things in here is definitely the brand new Purge events. So in the Purge, especially the higher level ones, you can get different Purge enemies coming to raid your base, which is wonderful because Stygians, I had enough of them, so it's nice we're getting some different things. They're having golems attack you with explosive jars on their head, which could be absolutely devastating, so you probably want to deal with those before they get too close to your base, otherwise your base is going to go boom. They also have a brand new mage, a meteor mage, that will like charge up and then summon meteors onto your base by the looks of it. So you have to be careful of that. Maybe get rid of him before he starts dropping those big old bombs on your base. And yeah, some of the rocks they were saying drop on your base, you can farm them. I'm assuming it would be star metal or something like that, like meteors are usually. But yeah, this is a brand new encounter that can happen, and you want to be very wary of it. They did say this is Purge levels 9 and 10, so it's a possibility this could spawn between those levels. They did also mention here about a thief wave as well, where there will be invisible NPCs that will come into your place and lockpick your doors to get your treasure. So that's also another thing they mentioned as a wave. We'll be testing all of it out very soon, so keep an eye on the channel and subscribe if you haven't already if you want to see more Conan Exiles content with this next upcoming update. But this is awesome seeing they're adding more back to the Purge now. There's also another thing that's super exciting that people have been waiting for years is some more siege equipment. they are adding a ballista into the game that they've shown off on the stream, and it can use a couple of bolts. Now hear me out, they did say something here as well in the stream which was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. So basically, if you get a fully charged shot of some of these bolts or something in this machine, it can literally 2-hit avatars. So this is avatar defense. There's also balls in there to deal with, like, maybe like if you're doing a purge or something, you could shoot the balls at the purge people, and that's what those are for. But those big bolts are apparently avatar killers. So now if you're on PvP and you're getting raided by avatars, get a ballista. That would be the way to take them out very easily and very quickly, which I don't know, 2 bolts feels like not a lot because you could have a couple of people on them with them charged up. They do take a while to charge, I will admit that, but yeah, you have to spend quite a bit on getting avatars, so I don't know how I feel about this, but it's a thing now. Either way, I'm super glad we have another siege equipment. Really like the look of the ballista. It looks to be really well done, and I really can't wait to play around with this piece of equipment. Another thing they did in this update is make it easier to split and store things. So now you can right click on items just to split them in half immediately, and there's better options to hotkey things around in your inventory, split them up and all that good stuff. One of my favorites though is the quick sort. So if you have, like they're showing on here, iron and shapewood in your chest, and you click a button, you can just sort all the items from your inventory that are iron and shapewood into the chest. And oh, I just love it. I'm so glad they added something like this that makes it easier to sort out your inventory. Another really good thing is they made an option to revert a previous change, so you can go back in time. They've added back auto face forward on attack mode. You do have to tick it in settings, but now you can do this, which is really good because a lot of people were really unhappy about this change they made in chapter 3. So now we can auto face forward on attack now once again and have that fluidity with the rotation. They also talked about something else with being able to roll and stamina changes, and I'm gonna pretty much let Den tell you this one because he explained it best, and you'll probably get a better idea of what he's going on about if I just let him talk about it. So here you go.
Stamina doesn't regenerate in 0.1 seconds after you start, or after you spend it or deplete it now. It waits 1 full second. So technically it's 10 times longer. But it's a very brief
when you
period
actually
of time.
play it, yeah. in practice, it's a lot more.
It's one of those things that you look at the numbers in the patch notes and you're like, that's an insane difference, you know. But when you play it, you know, you can feel it. It does feel like there's a little more grit in combat. There's a little bit more
weight.
Yeah, there's a little bit more commitment to what your actions are, but it comes back very fast still. And the big thing and the best thing about this is that it was specifically to find a natural way to prevent infinite roll spamming. So you can still roll forever, but in some cases you'll be forced to wait that you know, whatever 1 second plus the time to regenerate the stamina back, because you know you've gone into stamina debt, so you need to regenerate what you can't see, and then you need to add that second on top of it as well. So you can still roll a lot, but you can't roll forever with no break. And when it comes to balancing that break, like we're really on the edge of a knife here. If we make it too long, it will be a problem for a lot of people. If we make it too short, I mean, it's already too short. So you already see how that's a problem. So I'm trying to just nudge it in the right direction instead of making it, you know, swinging too far one way or the other.
Either way, let's go into some of the cosmetics of this season and see what they got on here. Remember, a lot of things you see as cosmetics usually will be in Battlepass or Bazaar, so have that disclaimer right there. But either way, they have a new dog pet, which looks really adorable. That's a brand new thing. They're going to be focusing more on this one about Zingarian. That is the kind of seasonal theme here. So it's nice to be seeing that, we'll be able to see that a bit more, because you do see Zingarians and like factions like that, but you don't really get them built up upon, apart from their name in the Conan Exiles game very much, unless it's just lore-wise. So it's nice to see some actual things in game that will be going over what they're like. There's new horse saddles, new tents, and this time I want to tell you guys something really exciting. In the Battle Pass, we're actually getting building pieces in the Battle Pass. So there's going to be this new Palisade set with the Zingarian stuff, which actually looks really nice. And I'm super stoked that this is actually in the Battle Pass and it's not a Bazaar set this time. They were also showing off a really cool jousting pole, which looked like a candy cane that they were going around with. They got some really cool horse saddle armor with this one too, that I really like, and some pretty decent armor sets, especially the one that's being worn. They also did show off that there'll be a new Yamatai set for onsen, so you'll be able to have hot tubs in the exiled lands. And they said there's going to be a brand new expansion to the Lost Dungeons set, so they got round pieces you can already see going around the place, a lot of grading, and they have like a tunnel system as well that you can get with this brand new building set piece extension thing. So that would be nice. They're building it out more fuller now, and I imagine you'll be able to get that in the Bazaar when it comes out. There's also a lot of decorative items in the bottom of this dungeon maze area where they went down. So Andy was going down the tunnel and they eventually reached this room, which they now have sarcophagus where you can actually sit inside, and it looks like you can also put zombies inside of these as well. There seems to be some spider web decorations as well hanging around the place. Nice alcoves in the wall as well, and some brand new Stygian stuff, like I was seeing these little cats and a throne. They also briefly went over the spider room, which seems to have hanging mummies from the ceiling and spider eggs and stuff like that, so there's some more spider things for you. And here's a snapshot of one of the Bazaar pages we got shown throughout this presentation as well, which was pretty cool. So you can see the jousting set's going to be a thing, and there's a Zamorian throne room and stuff like that going on in here. They also showed off one of the free items you can get through the trader that takes teeth. So there's a new Jhebbal Sag throne that you can have and use, and it looks really cool. And something new with the Battle Pass, they are doing challenges differently this time. So instead of daily, they are weekly challenges and you get free. And there'll be more types of challenges which you have to explore out in the world. They also said with XP, is working a little bit differently this time, whereas you'll be doing normal activities and earning XP in normal ways, such as farming, building, killing, whatever you're doing on the exiled lands. So you're just playing normally, and apparently you get XP for the Battle Pass by just playing the game normally now. These challenges are here if you want an extra bump to the XP, but I'm going to have to see how this all works out in game and see how this is in the official version, because I'm interested how this new system works. But I'll be curious to know how much you can power through in a week, and if you're capped at any point or anything like that with these. But yep, a new way to do the challenges, and hopefully is a better way to do them overall. I know the last system became a little tedious, and a lot of people were relying on just unlocking them with admin mode, which was like, I don't think Funcom really wanted to go that direction, so I think they're trying this different approach now to maybe do something different there, or make it so people don't have to do that, or just play normally. As a bit of a wrap up, they also changed the dyeing system. So because they changed all the UI up, there isn't actually an option to dye your armor in your inventory anymore. You will have to use a dyer's bench to dye your armor. So if you want to do that, then yeah, you need to place on a bench, and there's going to be a place you can slot your armor in and paint it in there instead now. So they've changed that, and you might not have some of the familiar options in there you were used to last time. But either way, that is the stream. That is what got released today and shown off on the Funcom's live pages. I hope you enjoyed the recap and it was useful. Either way, thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.